This is TCT's Daily Major. I am Brian Dabrio, and these are your headlines. Government is said to be taking the issue of the opening of the OKEU hospital very seriously because the EU has expressed concern. The SLBWA uses the observance of Diabetes Awareness Month as a platform to launch diabetic retinopathy program. Commemorative stamps launched, and a record 600,000 visitors are expected in Barbados by year-end. TCT's Daily Major is brought to you by Dubilee's Bottling Company, Parents Food Products, Ramco Chowming, and One Caribbean newspaper.
So nothing will keep us together. Oh, we can be heroes just for one day.
More than a third of our children are now overweight or obese, and some reports indicate this will be the first generation where the children might not outlive their parents. Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in the United States, and the leading cause of death for African Americans, Hispanics, and whites. 25 million North Americans are diabetic, and roughly 2 million people are diagnosed with diabetes every year. BioSlife, the clinically proven natural fat loss.
For more information or to purchase this product, contact Ramjay at telephone 716-1400 or 450-0495 or email ramjay35@hotmail.com.
One Caribbean newspaper is dedicated to the unity of our people in one Caribbean nation. We invite you to write us and tell us what's bothering you. No matter what it is, as long as it's within the law and it doesn't offend the public conscience, we will publish it. Send us your pictures. Tell us of your weddings. Tell us when, unfortunately, you have deaths, and we will publish the death announcements. One Caribbean is a newspaper dedicated to the unity of the Caribbean. Write to us at onecaribbeanltd@gmail.com or dennisdabrio@gmail.com, and we will publish what you write as long as it is within the law and it doesn't offend public decency.
Welcome. Prime Minister the Honorable Alan Chastanet made his very first visit to the Owen King EU Hospital on Monday, 31st October, accompanied by Minister for Health and Wellness Senator the Honorable Mary Isaac and the Honorable Guy Joseph, Minister for Economic Development, as well as other senior health officials. The Prime Minister held very frank and open discussions with contractors for the project and the health officials in an effort to resolve issues surrounding the full commissioning of the hospital.
You know, my favorite saying these days is not my fault, but it's my problem. So what's critical is getting this facility up and running and open. And obviously we can see that there were a lot of mistakes that were made in the process, and particularly as it pertains to the cafeteria and the laundry. And is how do we get those issues resolved? So that is what we're working on today. in terms of getting this facility up and running as quickly as possible, where we can open for a temporary basis without some of those facilities, but clearly we cannot go on any kind of sustained basis without the laundry room and without the cafeteria.
Minister for Economic Development, the Honorable Guy Joseph, said he has been receiving conflicting reports as to why works at the facility have not been completed within the stipulated or agreed time frames.
The hospital is one of serious concern to us, and we continue to see the lack of progress in a lot of areas. When we visited the last time to where we are now, I have not seen much of a change. And it appears to me that people without the requisite competence or capability have been engaged at this hospital to do a number of things that they are unable to deliver on. And the government is taking this very serious because the EU have expressed their concerns. They have played their part in terms of giving us a facility. And it is very sad that just the couple of components that had to be handled by the government of St. Lucia, that after so many years during the construction phase of the hospital, that nothing was put in place to at least put the government's responsibility on par with that of the EU. And that is making us look bad as a government and as a people. And it is our intention as a new government to get all of these problems fixed within the shortest possible time. And one of the ways we do this is to be present so that people do not just tell us what is on paper, but we are physically seeing for ourselves what the problems are and how they are going to be addressed.
Health Minister, the Honorable Mary Isaac, stated that the visit by the Prime Minister is an indication of the seriousness of the government to arrive at an appropriate time frame for the eventual opening of the facility.
More and more we are realizing that there are a few snags in the system and a few gaps that will have to be filled before the hospital is finally open. Of course, we want to open it as quickly as possible because there are certain services that will be offered by this hospital that we do not have on island currently, and people have to go overseas and so on. So we are trying our best to open it as quickly as possible. But in doing so, we must ensure that all the safety nets, are met, and all the safety standards are met, and that we are operating it at a very high standard when it does open.
This year, the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association commemorates the observance of Diabetes Awareness Month by taking the opportunity to launch the much-awaited public awareness campaign for the National Diabetic Retinopathy Screening and Treatment Program in St. Lucia. The promotional launch of the NDRSTP will take the form of appearances on various media shows and the development of promotional paraphernalia, all intended to raise public awareness of diabetic retinopathy. Diabetic retinopathy is a serious condition which affects the eyes of persons with diabetes and could potentially result in blindness. This condition affects many persons globally and is widely regarded as a form of preventable blindness by experts from the WHO and other international agencies. With early screening and treatment, diabetic retinopathy can be detected and treated appropriately, thus averting loss of vision. The primary mandate of the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association is to provide support to persons with visual impairment and offer clinical eye care services that will screen, treat, and in some cases prevent blindness. One of these services is a walk-in clinic where persons with diabetes can access professional eye examination, diagnosis, and treatment. The NDRSTP is a component of the Caribbean Diabetic Retinopathy Screening and Treatment Program, which is graciously funded by the Queen Elizabeth Diamond Jubilee Trust. Members of the public are encouraged to take along relatives and friends with diabetes, glaucoma, and other eye problems to visit the walk-in clinic from Mondays through Thursdays. This clinic is available on a first-come, first-served basis from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. DR screening is available by appointment on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. A sod-turning ceremony for the erection of a Human Resource Enrichment Center by the Rotary Club of St. Lucia for the holistic feeding and care of the homeless was held this Tuesday, November 1st at George V Park. Mrs. Selma Senpri is the president of the Rotary Club.
on behalf of the Rotary Club of St. Lucia and the Rotary family in St. Lucia, I welcome all of you to this spectacular and significant occasion as its end result will change the face of Castries and assist our tourism promotions and the tourists' experience as they visit our shores. The Castries City Council will agree with me when I say that many of our government, social agencies and other agencies have had many discussions on this issue. And united, we show our commitment today to ensuring results to begin to work on ways in assisting a global problem of indigence, which includes homelessness and hunger, by starting in our little neck of the woods. The Human Resource Enrichment Center will not only assist the poor, but in the long term rehabilitate most of them back into society. In the audience today, we have many representatives of agencies, government and non-government, including volunteer groups, who have made commitments to assist this needed venture to mitigate some of our social ills. In our quarterly feedings and clothing of the poor, we assist about 200 plus individuals and families, and I can safely say that many of us know or went to school with one of them. This is close to home and close to all of us in our hearts, and we are our brother's keepers.
Past President of the Rotary Club, Mr. Chester Hinkson, also addressed the gathering.
The growing level of poverty in St. Lucia is of grave concern to all of us. The government, the church, the unions, and the private sector in general. For a country that boasts of a claim to 2 Nobel laureates, making it the highest per capita in the world, we boast of 2 majestic pitons and the only walking volcano in the world. We boast of 4-star, some even say 5-star hotels. The current level of poverty is unacceptable and needs to be urgently addressed. Poverty, in my humble opinion, is just like slavery and racism. They are crimes against humanity and must therefore be of concern to everyone. We understand that no one of us can do everything, but each one of us can do something. We also are aware that we do not have the resources nor the manpower to alleviate poverty. But one thing is certain, we can reduce it to make life more comfortable for many of our affected and marginalized citizens.
The Honorable Sarah Bobra is the parliamentary representative for Castries Central.
It's easy to feed somebody, it's easy to provide a shelter, but you're trying to do more than that. You're trying to do holistic feeding. You're trying to care for people, and that says so much. If you're doing something holistic, it's deep, it's true, it's real, it's the real thing, it's lasting. If you're caring about people, you're doing more than just providing them with clothes. You're loving them, you're understanding their needs. And it's by loving and understanding them that you are able to care for them. And so I'm really happy about this project. The President spoke about reintegrating and rehabilitating people. And a lot of our homeless are on the streets, not because they have no place to stay, but because they have a mentally ill, they have a mental problem. So they need to be reached, they need to be provided the care, the services that they really need for them to be able to take advantage of this. So I just want to commend you on the work that you're doing. I want to thank all of the volunteers who will work here, all of the agencies that will collaborate with you to make this a real success.
St. Lucia participated in the CTO's fall shows in New Haven and Boston last week, featuring the Year of Romance in the Caribbean. The CTO roadshows sought to provide travel agents with real alternatives, choices and specials for destination weddings and honeymoons in the Caribbean. Each show started off with an intimate trade show where each destination held one-on-one meetings with each agent, followed by a brief presentation to all, dinner and prize giveaways. An average of 20 suppliers, including hotels, wholesalers, and airline partners, attended each event. Specifically, member destinations who participated were Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, the Bahamas, the British Virgin Islands, Dominica, Grenada, Martinique, St. Lucia, Tobago, and Turks and Caicos. Agents were very engaging and showed a keen interest in learning more about the destination. Several had visited St. Lucia in the past 2 years. Many, however, expressed interest in visiting the boutique resorts in St. Lucia. SLTB partnered with SLHTA member Anne Chasney in providing a 3-night stay for New Haven and Boston. Overall, the CTO shows were very successful and additional series are being planned for next spring in several markets, including the West Coast, Midwest, and Southern region. This is TCT's Daily Major. Still to come, commemorative stamps launched.
Crystal clear, yeah. That's what we drink. When I want to quench my thirst, bring a bottle of crystal clear, yeah. It's so refreshing. I don't want no other water. The choice is crystal clear. Cool the temperature. Revitalize me with. Give me a bottle of water. All on the road is inside the bottle. Everybody's drinking water. Crystal clear, yeah. It's so refreshing. When I want to quench my thirst, bring a bottle of crystal clear.
The choice is clear. Crystal clear. Premium, purified drinking water from Zubulais Bottling Company Limited.
The way you smile at me is everything I dream.
How is that boy running up?
The way you smile at me.
Your Lucelec bill has been redesigned to give you more information. The top portion of your bill contains an invoice number, Lucelec's VAT identification number, and customer address. A past due stamp is displayed if your payment is overdue at the time of billing. Ignore it if you've already made your payment. To the right is a barcode for easy processing of your payments at Lucelec's customer service offices only. The billing summary highlights any amounts due from the prior billing, total of all payments made between your last bill and your last payment date, any other charges or credits to your account, any fees for returned checks or reconnection, VAT charges on these fees, the balance brought forward, your current charges for the billing period, the total amount outstanding on your account, and the date by which it should be paid.
Experience the flavor of icy. Icy, yeah. Icy, icy. Pop it up, let's start the party. Ooh, yeah. I like the flavor. Ooh, yeah. I love the taste. The orange and the pear, the cherry and banana, the apple, ginger beer, or strawberry for your mama. Grapefruit, cola, champagne, sorrel if you wanna. Quench your thirst first, have an icy soda water. Icy, yeah. Icy, icy. Pop it up, let's start the party. Ooh, yeah. I like the flavor. Ooh, yeah. I love the taste. Icy, icy, icy. Experience the flavor of icy. Bottled by Zubulais Bottling Company Limited.
Ramco pasta is a master. Your staple of choice because the quality is superior. No gluten, no white flour, 100% semolina. Ramco pasta tastes better, I swear. Ramco pasta forever. When I using mac and cheese, bon. Give me some more please. Ramco have variety, go Betty to Betty and Fusilini. Ramco, The taste we know met you. Now available at all leading outlets. Distributed by Ramco. For more information, call 450-0495.
Welcome back to TCT's Daily Major. Stamps of the island's Governors General have been launched as part of St. Lucia's Trust to Preserve Local History. A new commemorative stamp edition of St. Lucia's Governors General was launched by the government of St. Lucia on Thursday, October 27th. The special stamp issue is now available in over 160 countries where the Universal Postal Union operates. The commemorative stamps available feature Sir Alan Louisy, Boswell Williams, Sir Stanislaus James, and the sitting Governor General, Her Excellency Dame Pearlette Louisy. In her remarks at the launching, the Governor General encouraged St. Lucians to preserve the history and traditions of St. Lucia using the modern technologies available. The families of the honorees were present at Government House to witness the unveiling of the special stamp issue. Addressing the youth rally organized by the National Reparations Committee at the Derek Walcott Square last Saturday, Chairman of the NRC, Mr. Earl Bousky, spoke of the fact that following the Haitian Revolution, Haiti was ordered to pay reparations to France for some 100 years.
And as a result of the Haitian Revolution, after it was gotten rid of, one of the facts many of us don't know because our history is being kept away from us, is that Haiti was condemned to pay reparations to France for having ended slavery. And when we stay here and we listen to the misfortunes that happened to Haiti, and we say Haiti is paying for something, they must be paying for voodoo, or they must be paying for their sins. No, Haiti is poor today because for 100 years, after the Haitian Revolution was overthrown, Haiti has been paying reparations to France. And when President Jean-Bertrand Aristide, as president of Haiti, demanded reparations be returned to Haiti, he was kidnapped and exiled in South Africa, where he is up until today.
The 12th Caribbean Youth Environmental Network Biennial Congress and the Caribbean Youth Environmental Summit kicked off on Monday, October 31st at the Department of Agriculture Conference Room in Basse-Terre, St. Kitts. The aim of the week-long summit is to raise the level of awareness about sustainable lifestyle and Principle 10, a regional agreement to improve environmental standards in Latin America and the Caribbean. St. Kitts and Nevis is the newest signatory to the Principle 10 regional agreement. In her address at the opening ceremony, Mrs. Tivetelina Filipova, senior expert at the Regional Environmental Center based in Hungary, said REC joined forces with CN to organize several sessions on Principle 10 for this summit. We will be undertaking youth training, a public officer training, and a town hall meeting, all in an effort to make people more aware of Principle 10 and their role in effectively implementing this process in the Caribbean. According to Mr. David Barrio, Environmental Affairs Officer at UN ECLAC, the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals offer a chance of prosperity to the people of this planet, and more importantly, it's closely linked to Principle 10, which seeks to promote access to information, public participation, and access to justice in environmental issues. Sustainable development will only be possible if it has people and participation at its core. Close to 50 people from across the region were in attendance at the opening ceremony. The summit is sponsored by the Government of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Ministry of Environment, Land and Sea of Italy, REC, UN ECLAC, UN Environment, and the Ripple Institute. Staying on the regional scene, the Barbados Sunday Sun newspaper has reported that for the first time in the history of the tourism business in Barbados, officials are predicting that they will finish the year with a record 600,000 visitors to the island. chairman of the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. and the veteran hotel manager Alvin Jomot, offered the prediction recently in an interview with the Sunday Sun newspaper. He said among the major drivers of this growth was the local industry increasing reliance on social media and new digital marketing avenues, which take the conversation directly to the space where the people are talking. Jomot said, while the stepped-up conversation may in many instances still send prospective visitors back to the traditional third-party marketers of the island, an increasing number of people were following the digital conversation and booking their holidays themselves. Now for the weather report. Present weather at Huronora partly cloudy. At George Charles Fair, sunrise tomorrow 5:59 a.m. Forecast for St. Lucia valid for the next 24 hours. Winds will be blowing from the southeast near 14 miles or 22 kilometers per hour, becoming lighter at times. Weather, fair skies becoming cloudy at times with some scattered showers and a chance of isolated thunderstorms. Seas slight to moderate with waves and swells 3 to 5 feet or 0.9 to 1.5 meters. Forecast for the Lesser Antilles. Partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with some scattered and isolated thunderstorms. Tropical weather outlook. The lower atmosphere is sufficiently moist and unstable to cause some showers and thunderstorms to develop over the eastern Caribbean region during the next 24 hours. Tropical cyclone formation is not expected over the tropical Atlantic during the next 5 days. Finally, unbelievable, but true. Here it is. Some people are hoping that this guy will run for elections whenever it is due. He is laid back, looks intelligent, and appears to have what most politicians lack. Have a look. This guy definitely have much more than his fair share, you know what I mean? Anyway, here is where we come to the end of this edition of TCT's Daily Major. But before we go, another look at the headlines. Government is said to be taking the issue of the opening of the OKEU hospital very seriously because the EU has expressed concern. The SLBWA uses the observance of Diabetes Awareness Month as a platform to launch diabetic retinopathy program. Commemorative stamps launched, and a record 600,000 visitors are expected in Barbados by year end. TCT's Daily Major was brought to you by Dubilee's Bottling Company, Farron's Food Products, Ramco Chowing, and One Caribbean Newspaper. As usual, on behalf of the entire news team, I am Brian Dabrio. Thanks for viewing.